in Jackson Public Schools, our mantra is building stronger schools together. And to do that, we have aligned with several significant partners and community organizations to provide more exposure, experience, and knowledge to our JROTC cadets. We do this throughout the school year, but we continue our efforts throughout the summer. We know that these type educational outreach programs are very significant to our efforts of building stronger leaders together. We applaud the sincere efforts of all our partnering institutions and organizations for their willingness to join forces with JPS Junior ROTC to provide our cadets exposure to the vast array of opportunities in the STEM arena, as well as opportunities in public safety and government. From across this state, we have representatives from some of the top institutions in the United States who are here for you.
You know, Proverbs 22:6 says, "Train up a child in the way that he will go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." At JPS JROTC, we all know that we are building leaders for life. Leadership is all about responsibility. We have to prepare our young people for the responsibilities of leading not only the state, but our world. What we're pleased to be able to do today is bring together the cadre of individuals who have committed to this partnership. Partnership in workforce innovation, partnership in exposure, partnership in developing talent that unlocks the hidden genius in so many of our young people. The College Options Foundation has been committed to working with programs like JROTC. Every program that has been created, basically in this school district, in this state, is being replicated in some way, shape, form, or fashion. We're preparing young people to not just be leaders for life, but we're creating opportunities and partnerships with our institutions of higher learning that will allow them to have an aspect of curriculum, an opportunity, and understanding so that they can indeed invest in themselves. Now, cadets, when you look at the army of students in each and every one of your schools, it is you who are the leaders in that school. What you have to continue to do is create opportunity, though. Open up doors for the cadets that are going to be coming behind you. So today is really about how we can continue these partnerships and expand them throughout the state of Mississippi.
So our first presenter will be Dr. Cade Smith from Mississippi State University.
Our state faces many challenges. Some of those challenges are disparities in health, economic, and educational outcomes between different populations within our state, different regions within our state, and as educators, we have a responsibility to think about how we address those disparities. The cadre that work in Junior ROTC are exemplary in shaping young men and young women that believe that they can take what they're learning in the classrooms in Jackson Public Schools, in the laboratories at Mississippi State Universities, in the health facilities at William and Carey, in the STEM program on the coast with Southern and computer science labs, and take that knowledge and believe that they can shape lives and communities. And Jackson Public Schools has a shining gem in that program and in Colonel Willis, and I'm proud to get to partner with him. Over 700 students who are Junior ROTC cadets in Jackson Public Schools have come to Mississippi State University. If that's not enough, another 1,100 students have come from schools in Alabama, in Louisiana, and across Mississippi. Colonel Willis and the great hardworking cadre of Jackson Public Schools Junior ROTC programs have made that possible, not only for the 700 students in this school, but for the 1,100 students in other schools across the Mid-Southern region. Our Leader State STEM program at Mississippi State University has been in its current form for about 10 years. We've been partnering, this will be our 12th year with Jackson Public Schools. We're proud to partner with Geosciences. Our primary focus is taking students from across Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama who are hardworking, responsible, and believe in a brighter tomorrow and are willing to invest in themselves to make that a reality, and letting them see what their future looks like being a college student on a campus. They're not only seeing a future that includes the reality of them existing and thriving on a college campus, but they're living that reality. We partner with our 2-year community college schools. We're recruiting for higher education. We want those cadets seeing a future that includes them in a post-secondary educational setting. We focus on physical fitness, STEM education, personal agency, and high-tech career opportunities. We bring in faculty and staff members who are STEM experts, 20 different faculty and staff members across the week, and we really paint that picture where students are actively hands-on solving problems, applying concepts that are science, technology, engineering, and mathematics based to solve real-world problems. And what we want is those students understanding that life is challenging. Education is going to ask a lot of you. And there's people that are willing to go to great lengths to invest themselves in creating a future, cadets, where you thrive. Thrive physically, emotionally, professionally, but where you can thrive and invest those gifts that these people have given you into the community for the betterment of other people. I think that's the essence of Junior ROTC, and we're thrilled at Mississippi State University to get to be a part of that.
So our next presenter will be Dr. Melissa Stevens from Carey University.
This summer is going to be our 5th year hosting the Institute of Health Careers, and I can tell you every summer I am so excited to see the buses roll up from the Jackson Public School District carrying the 60 Junior ROTC cadets, because I know that I'm getting ready to meet some of the best and brightest young men and women that our state has to offer. And I think of our program as having 3 different goals within its mission. First off, we're there to educate these students. Healthcare is such an important field. It's one of the areas that has the highest need for young men and women to pursue careers in that opportunity. And so we want to show them all of the opportunities that are available. And so this year we're going to be showcasing 20 different healthcare occupations. We're going to be showing them doctors and nurses and pharmacists, but we're also going to show them people like the information technologists who help keep electronic medical records running, health information management departments who provide communication to all of the different service providers. We show them all of the different opportunities for therapy that are out there, from physical therapy and occupational therapy to respiratory therapy, and even things like music therapy that many of them are not aware of. So we are going to hold almost 10 different workshops where they'll be doing hands-on activities. Simulation with high-tech fidelity mannequins. We teach them how to use ultrasound technology to better investigate their patients. The other thing that I think that we do is we work to inspire them. So many of these children really need to learn that it's okay to have a dream, and it's okay to have a great dream, a big dream. So we want to inspire them to dream. And then, more importantly, we want to equip them to achieve those dreams. So we work really hard to give them the tools that they need to meet those dreams and make those dreams become realities for themselves. We spend a lot of time talking about financial aid and other opportunities that they have to fund their educations. We spend a lot of time talking to them about becoming leaders, because we want them to take and use all of the skills and the knowledge that they have to become some of the best and brightest professionals in our state. So it's just been a pleasure for us to be able to host all of these cadets over the last 5 years, and we look forward to, as we move forward, taking our camp and even expanding it in the next few years to where we can bring in even more cadets and give them some of these great opportunities.
The first year we attempted to start this program, we were unable to get the funding, but we were not discouraged. We brought in our great friend, Mr. Ben Minifield, and we told Ben we need some help. We need to find a partner who will fund this program the first year. Ben did go out, and he brought in Atmos Energy. And then our Army leadership saw the goodness of this program, and from that year to now, our Army leadership has provided the funding for this program. We have gotten approval from our Army leadership to expand the program next year to include an additional week and an additional 60 students from across other parts of Mississippi. So it will not just be the Jackson Public Schools, similar to how we did with Mississippi State University, where it started out with just Jackson Public Schools. We always try to spread the opportunity as far as we can, because we know that students in the far corners of Mississippi need these same opportunities. So our next presenters are from Jackson State University. Their Summer Institute of Nanotoxicity. This is a great program for our students. Dr. Jerzy Lazinski is the department head for the computational Chemistry Center at Jackson State University, and Dr. Shonda Allen is his associate director. This program at Jackson State University, offered each summer, involves some of our top scholars from across Jackson Public School District. This program is a full month in duration. This is a day program. The students earn $1,500 each for their participation, and members of the winning teams, because they have competitive events throughout the summer, the winning teams receive an additional bonus of $300. And through the National Science Foundation grants, they are able to provide this opportunity for our students. And the unique thing about this program, our students work shoulder to shoulder with graduate students as well as undergraduate students and a wide array of international students. They do some of the same things the graduate and undergraduate students do. And they are exposed to some of the leading scientists from across America and from across the world. In fact, each summer, they're exposed to several Nobel laureates who are brought in to be a part of the program. Jackson State serves as the host site for our West Point Leadership, Ethics, and Diversity in STEM workshop. But Jackson State gives us access to their entire engineering building for a full day during the month of February. Jackson State gives us their entire engineering building at no cost.
I'm Dr. Julie Swickler, the Director of Creativity and Innovation in STEM. And basically what that means is that I am supported to dream up and design whatever I would like that's really interesting and innovative, that blends technology fields, public school districts, any kind of outreach activities within and without the university. 6 years ago, we designed a STEM Leadership Academy, and we are now in our 4th year. And what we have designed since then is a program that brings Mobile and Jackson together in Hattiesburg. And we began with a STEM Invitational 2 years ago. And this past year, with some DoD funding that we have at the university, specifically focused on cybersecurity and wearable technologies, we brought the cadets together to look at cybersecurity, coding, hacking, data reconnaissance, etc. And these are all very interesting fields, obviously, to cadets these ages. Specifically, the STEM Leadership Academy that we have going on in Mobile really blends STEM areas with area industry and military. And we're very, very explicit about how we do that. So, for example, students might be at the university designing a turbine, literally designing a wind turbine. Then they go into industry and they see that working. Then maybe they talk to a designer or they hear a speaker from industry in the evening. So we are really showing them the nuts and bolts of why you need to take these courses as a high school student, why you need to maintain this discipline and this rigor, not only with your physical health, but also with your studies. And then really showing them this is the trajectory that you could be on, and here's how we can help you get there. We all want creative thinkers and learners. We want people who can march and who are being disciplined, but if we don't have really creative and interesting problem solvers, then they're marching nowhere, right? This last event that we had in Hattiesburg, the students actually stayed at Camp Shelby, which is really nice because it's adjacent to the university. So they were getting a true military experience, getting to sleep in the barracks and all of that. And then they got to go to the weapons simulator there. This coming fall, they're going to get to see drones in action. So they're really seeing technology and how it's used in the military specifically, as well as learning how to code, learning why is web security so important, not only to individuals, and us for just individual banking, but also for international security.
So I'd like to ask Cadet Tony Tario from Callaway High School to come and just briefly share the impact this program had on you. Cadet Tario.
You learn more throughout that day. We met guys from Mobile, Alabama, so it was 2 different brigades. You got mixing with JPS. We actually had a good time from staying from the barracks and also having a tour of the campus and learning how to defend ourselves against hacking. So students got a chance to learn from a military aspect and a civilian aspect. TAC training that I led from TAC Command from Camp Shelby, as well as coming into the classroom, working in the computer, learning how to read on decrypted messages. So as a student, you should be able to take in those aspects and learn from them to either make a career out of it or to have it as a learning experience.
Our next presenter is from our very own Jackson Police Department. Commander Herman Horton is going to talk to you about a program that the Jackson Police Department provides for our JROTC cadets.
Our program that we have is called our Court Watch, but it's also a part of what we call our Youth Citizens Police Academy. And I can stand here before you and honestly say that I am a proud graduate of Wingate JROTC back in 1983. That experience helped me out throughout my entire life. It helped me from the time that I joined the Marine Corps and those 10 years, and then after that, my last 18 years in the Army. And it even helped me in my civilian career as I stand before you now as a director of training for the Jackson Police Department. Bear in mind that every job that's out here in the civilian sector, they have it in the military. But the camp that we have at the Jackson Police Training Academy is a week-long camp. You're exposed to law enforcement. We take you through all the different departments of the Jackson Police Department to expose you to what law enforcement is about. We want to try to get the young men and women of Jackson to understand about law enforcement. We expose them to everything from how to interact with law enforcement, the calls for service that we receive in our dispatch center. We average about 10,000 calls a week. So we try to expose them to see how those calls are received, how those calls are dispatched. We also expose them to what a recruit will go through when they come through our police academy, which is similar to what you'll go through in basic training. We also want to get you to understand how important it is that when you decide whatever career path that you take, we, as far as Jackson Police Department, as well as JPS ROTC, we're here for you. I can only wish that what Mr. Ben Minifield, Colonel Willis, and everyone else here has put together was available 35 years ago, because there's no limit to what I possibly would have been able to have achieved. But nevertheless, young men and women, please take advantage of it. I admonish you to take advantage of what you have before you, because as you look around these three tables, understand that everyone here is here in your best interest.
Ms. Carmen Castillo from Judge Henry Wingate's office to come and speak to you about the program he provides for our cadets.
It's something that the judge himself started many years ago. He began with recruiting through Jackson Public Schools principals and counselors for high school students. And then he coordinated with Colonel Willis to make it to make the JROTC a big component of the program. The purpose was to give the students exposure to the legal system, the operation of the legal system, and a wide array of careers in the legal system. So we introduced them to occupations and persons that they might not have otherwise thought about in thinking about careers legally related fields. In addition to observing some court proceedings and doing some mock court interactions, we had a Secret Service agent, someone from the Drug Enforcement Agency, FBI agents, we had the federal prosecutors and public defenders, people from the Marshal Service and the Probation Office, and we did a tour of the prison at Yazoo City, the federal prison. All of the people that we interacted with, all of the wardens, assistant wardens, administrators, even the gentleman who was the director over the food services, talked with them about this is a great field to be in. There are all kinds of fields in the legal arena out there that they can participate in. These people all shared with the students their career paths. Most of them came from very, very humble beginnings, and they shared that they almost took a wrong path until something brought them the right way. And so they gave very personal stories that I think a lot of the participants could relate to. And all of these people emphasized with them, the necessity of keeping your academics up, keeping your record clean. Even several people, without us prompting them, talked about how important it is when you apply for these federal positions that you have things like good credit. And that stuck with these young men, and I think they heard it from the police department over and over again, too. We have really enjoyed these young people. We are so impressed with them, and Colonel Willis, they do such a wonderful job. They are so on the ball, and we commend them for their efforts.
Our next presenter is our former mayor and current president of 100 Black Men of Jackson, Mr. Harvey Johnson.
We're currently mentoring about 100 students at 9 Jackson public schools. 3 elementary, 3 middle schools, and 3 high schools. So our partnership with JPS extends over 25 years, nearly the 28 years we've been in existence. We mentor. That's what we do. We believe in what they see is what they will be, and we try to provide positive role models, images to African American males here in the city of Jackson, and particularly in the Jackson Public School system. We have 4 other pillars: education, health and wellness, leadership development, and economic empowerment. We focus on our 100 mentees, but we also have programs that affect and serve other students. We have an aquatics program during the summer. This past summer we trained around 300 students, or young people, how to swim. 2 of those were JROTC cadets on their way to West Point, and they had to learn to swim in order to get into West Point. We also have a Nissan resume challenge up in Smyrna, Tennessee, where we take 10, 11, 12 students from JPS to participate with other students from other chapters. The National Flight Academy is a STEM-based, aviation-oriented 6-day camp in Pensacola, Florida. Colonel Willis and his staff did an excellent job in logistics, an excellent job in coming up with a selection process, an excellent job in getting our parents involved. And as a result, 81 JROTC cadets went to that program. 23 of our mentees went to that program. The initial grant, by the way, was from the Hilton Foundation, $100,000. They were so impressed with the quality of the students that came from JPS and JROTC that they were willing to invest again this year in these students, and not just the Hilton Foundation, but the National Flight Academy. We're proud of our partnership with JPS and with JROTC. 100 Black Men of Jackson is an advocate for JPS. We're an advocate for public education, and everything that we can do to help in terms of making sure that the JPS students are successful, we're willing to do.
So now we have one of our newest partners, also from Mississippi State University, Dr. Sarah Lee, is going to talk to you about computer science programs that she's offering there.
There are multiple pathways to your goals. There are multiple educational pathways. There are multiple career pathways. Why do we need computing education in this state? We have about 1,000 unfilled jobs that a computer scientist could fill in this state today, not to mention all over the country. So we do need more computer scientists, and computer science is really math. There's a lot of math theory in computer science, and those are the people who are going to design new algorithms, design new systems, design the technology of tomorrow. But we don't want everybody to be a computer scientist. People have different pathways. Some people want to be in healthcare. Some people want to be in the legal field. But computing is everywhere. Our K-12 students need to be learning computational thinking, which goes along with computer programming. They need to be learning cybersecurity, because until everyone is safe online, no one is safe. We need more people of color, more females sitting at the table designing technology. Only 3% of computing jobs in the country are held by women of color, only 3%. What we do is not just teaching computer science teachers. It's showing every teacher, regardless of their content area, how to integrate computing and cybersecurity into the classroom. That computer programming and that computational thinking is necessary regardless of the pathway that you choose. Or maybe you're on a pathway where you're going to go into a manufacturing industry. I take students to tour companies like Aurora Flight Sciences that's in the Golden Triangle. Everybody there is either using a computer or a robot. So I appreciate all of the innovative thinkers in here, all the change leaders that we have in this room, and I look forward to working with College Options.
Jackson City Council member and president of the West Point Society of Mississippi, Ashby Foote. He's going to speak to you briefly about the West Point Society's involvement in our West Point Leadership, Ethics, and Diversity Workshop.
As to West Point, their tradition in STEM goes back 200 plus years, and they are so focused on STEM at West Point that when I finally got there and attended West Point 170 years later, they still only awarded degrees in Bachelor of Science and Engineering. The STEM outreach program that we've now come to Jackson State about 10 years ago. So they only go to like 10 to 12 cities a year. They came to Jackson for the first time 3 years ago, and they were so impressed with the job that JROTC was doing within JPS that they came back a second time, and it's a third time. So I think that is a real tribute to Colonel Willis and his team of instructors that what they've got going here at JPS, that with all the cities to choose from across the country, they've come to Jackson 3 years in a row. The other hat that I wear here today as the city councilman. On behalf of the mayor and his administration and my fellow city councilmen, I want to thank all the team members that have come here today to be part of this. The team that Colonel Willis has assembled, but he's assembled it with people who are willing to come forward and commit time, energy, resources to enhance the education program for JPS. But it is, in my perspective, the shining star of the JPS program. We need more funding. In fact, that's why I met with Colonel Stinnett to talk about increasing the federal funding for the JROTC program within the Defense Department, because it's that important, and I think it makes a huge difference for the city of Jackson. The results speak for themselves when you look at the graduation rates, when you look at the success they go on into higher education, and just a great citizenship.
We now want to give our National Director, Colonel Michael Stinnett, who traveled here from Fort Knox, Kentucky. So please join me in welcoming Colonel Michael Stinnett.
So I've been in this position now for about 9 months. This is probably somewhere around the 80th or so school I've had a chance to visit. So I got a wide assortment of experiences. And I can tell you 100% without a doubt, this is the best place I've been. As far as the community support and the magnitude of opportunities for our outstanding cadets, it's phenomenal. This is the first time I've ever had a group such as yourself of community leaders and supporters. Usually it's the principal gives me a few minutes of their time, and that's about it. All your organizations, all the time and the funds that you're investing in this program, you're investing in our future. Whether they go to your organization, your college, or get involved with what you have them do for the summer, you're still investing in the wider picture of not only Mississippi, but the United States of America as a whole. Because it's giving each one of those cadets an opportunity that they would not have had before had your organization not gotten involved. We need the support of the surrounding community for this program to be successful. It's not just, okay, we put a couple Army instructors into a classroom, that, we give them the instruction material, they teach it, and the cadets, they're in uniform, they see them marching around, they see them twirling rifles or whatever. No, it's so much more than that. And, a lot of schools don't understand that. You do here. You 100% do. Leadership is a lifelong, development process. You go through 4 years preparing to commission as an officer. You don't just do it, in a few days and say, okay, they're good to go. Once you commission as an officer, first you go to more school. You kind of see the trend, you do an assignment, you go back to school. You do an assignment, you go back to school. So it is a lifelong or career-long progression of education and leadership. And along the way, you're expected to, utilize your experiences and to enhance the discussion and the interactions with your classmates. Junior ROTC is just the beginning of a lifelong of leadership, expectations for our cadets. So again, all of your programs that you presented today, you're giving somebody like, our police commander sometime down the road a chance to say that this program gave me a chance I wouldn't have normally had. You'd be amazed at how many people will want to tell you the things that Junior ROTC has done for them and where it postured them for success. Colonel Willis has the most vibrant operation here with all the different outreach programs and all the different community networks and interactions. I'm willing to bet that not a single cadet goes a summer without something to get involved with if they choose to do it. And, that's not happening in the rest of the country. And I got 74 people just like Colonel Willis across the country. If I had 74 Colonel Willises, imagine, where our country would be going, today. I've been nothing but impressed. you know.
We want to thank all of our partners. This is extremely important. We want to thank Colonel Stennett for choosing Jackson. Every time I stand and talk about the JROTC, I say this is our greatest hope for tomorrow. Don't take this opportunity for granted. This is truly an opportunity to take advantage of those things. The things that you're exposed to, it is truly a privilege. And so we want you to take advantage of these things and soar. Something I heard that was profound to me, and so I'm going to steal it from you, Dr. Stevens. Inspire students to dream. Inspire students to dream. And that's what all of this, everything that we're doing, whether we're going to a flight academy, going to the police academy, going to Mississippi State for leadership opportunities, we're being exposed to all of those things that the nanotoxicity program at Jackson State. We are allowing our students, we're inspiring them to dream, and then we equip them to be able to attain those dreams. That's what this is all about. So we appreciate you allowing our students, giving them that vision, and then equipping them with what they need to be successful.
We are looking forward to coming to your locations this summer. We are preparing right now. It's going to be a great summer. It's going to be a great opportunity.